What's going on, everybody? Snakes, Rolexes, and vaginas. What do these things have in common? Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is SafeWord. This is your platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink, BDSM, and relationships. Y'all know who it is. It's your host, Kane Marcos.
And I am your other host, Aurora Storm.
And I'm your co-host, Callista Fury.
And I'm the other co-host, Knight Wagner.
But first, make sure you like and subscribe for more content on kink, BDSM, and
relationships. Where was your hands, Kane? Relationships.
Yo, I was delayed as a motherfucker. I'm sorry.
We're coming back. We're slow. It's fine. But, you know, this is SafeWord. So here on SafeWord, we got to have a SafeWord of the day. We use this SafeWord if things get too hot, too heavy. So, crew, the SafeWord of the day is return. Use that word if things need to stop, okay? All right. But I am going to kick this over to Kane because he's going to explain just what we were talking about in the beginning. What's our show on tonight?
All right. So first and foremost, just a real quick shout out to our A1 from day one. Roy, what's up, dude? What's going on?
Hey.
All right. So, I brought it up earlier. Snakes, Rolexes, and vaginas. What do they all got in common? Well, I got some.
They all fit in your hand.
They all bite. No. Okay. I don't know.
All right, so I got some hot topics for us today. This is going to be one of our hot topic lives. We're going to be getting back into the swing of things just by going over some stuff, and you guys love us, so we're just going to give you our animated opinions on some of the things that happened since you guys last saw us in November, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Right, so kicking everything off, just some of this is a little bit old news. Everybody's kind of already heard about it, but we ain't talked about it,
right.
Us four have given our opinions, and I know a lot of people out there don't know how to take the news unless they hear Kane deliver it and get reactions from Aurora, Callista, and Knight. So
exactly.
If I bring up something old and you guys are just like, oh shit, whatever. This is what it is. It's us. Yo, did y'all hear that Kanye West is paying over $200,000 a month in child support to Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. That's it? That's all?
That's it. I was kind of like, that's it?
Oh, per kid?
That's a lot.
Per child, right?
Per kid, so like $200,000 a month, and I just gotta know, what in the fuck do two kids need a doctor's salary a month to be raised for?
Right?
Right. Well, I mean, the way they're looking at it is it was a dual income and what they made. You know what I'm saying? So he leaves and splits. Lifestyle isn't the same, but I don't feel like it's not the same. You're Kim Kardashian. Like, what?
She makes money.
Right.
She's not like a stay-at-home trophy wife.
No.
I hate to say it, but let me go ahead and just stoke a fire really fast and piss off a lot of legislators. But I think the child support system needs to be reevaluated.
You think?
You think?
Yeah, definitely. Because I know a lot of women out there. They rely on child support, and not to say that they're not, without means or anything, but hey, you decided to have a responsibility with another person. That person needs to share that responsibility and kick in for the support of a child. And that's what it's supposed to be, is child support. So when it comes
mom support.
When it comes to means, though, if the other parent is capable and has means, then the responsibility of financial, ownership needs to be reevaluated so that guys aren't getting taken to the cleaners just for having a good job. Same thing works for women. Like, I know a lot of women that get, raked over the coals in child support or don't get their fair compensation
Don't get the fair compensation.
And,
Seriously.
you know, it's really hard. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm a dude, so I mean, I'm probably gonna catch a lot of hate and a lot of flack. But you know, I can't imagine as a woman, you know, struggling on $200 a month because their deadbeat ass baby daddy ain't employed and is getting his unemployment check garnished by the government.
Yep.
And, barely making $220 a month, which doesn't cover formula nowadays. And then you hear, like some rich bitch got $200,000 for having 2 kids with the right motherfucker.
Right.
And you're just like,
what the fuck? What happened?
Keep in mind, it's not just about financial contribution. Because the way the courts sometimes look at this is what is a husband's or a dad's support worth? Meaning, how much more does she have to work to cover the things that he could have done? For example, like let's say she needs to go work, but he would be able to watch the kids, right? So now she has to hire a babysitter, for example. That's the cost. Or she has to work more to cover things like she needs to do additional laundry or she needs to cook additional food or these things. And so it's not just being, I need money to pay for kids to go to school, but I need money to pay for a missing body that would handle a lot of the workload.
And that
how much is that worth?
Accurately compensated in like the child support. It's like, oh, all right, well, you guys had a kid, and I deem it this is necessary, so have at it, go for it. Later, guys. Like none of that stuff's really looked into the way it's supposed to, and I think back in the day it was a lot more necessary and crucial and detailed, where they actually looked into certain things. And I think we just got into a population problem where there's just too many goddamn cases to look at each of them individually and accurately. So it happens to the best of us. It happened to Kanye, and so if you're flipping burgers and you decide to have a kid and it's bounced, then hey, I hate to say it, but it could be worse. You could be paying $200K. So shut up.
Now there's a theory going around that one of the reasons that Kanye went crazy, was so that he would actually get kicked out of his contracts and lose all this money so that he wouldn't have to pay.
Oh, I can see that.
It goes by how much you make, right? So I'm not a billionaire anymore. I can't afford that, Your Honor. Okay, all right. We'll reduce it. We'll reduce it.
Well, so, pretty much.
So along the same line, another rumor between Tom Brady and Giselle.
That's right.
Yeah, that they were getting divorced for all that, right?
Because he's going to lose his ass in that XRP lawsuit bankruptcy.
Yep.
I mean, because he was one of the sole proprietors. He was one of the sole contributors to the success of this, cryptocurrency and all this other shady shit that happened. It's going to tank him, and based on the state that they were married, it can tank her as well, just for being with them. So, I mean, I could see it being in their best interest to be like, yo, let's cut this so that way they can't touch your money. All they can do is take mine. And if you guys remember an individual by the name of O.J. Simpson, everybody's familiar with how that court case went. But because he was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame and gets a monthly check from the NFL for being a part of the Hall of Fame, that doesn't fall within his court responsibilities. That's his money.
Right.
And so, I mean, Tom Brady, is going to lose a lot of money, but he's going to be far from destitute. So
far from it. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Moving along into,
can I be in that position? I'll pay child support.
some more kink-related subjects. Tommy Lee's house in Calabasas got broken into a second time.
Good. They made a whole TV show around that shit too.
The first time it got broken into, I'll remind everybody, the infamous Pamela Anderson sex tape got released, and so I'm pretty sure everybody's all excited, like, who's going to leak next? His house got broken into.
Yeah.
So
was it the same crazy stalker or what?
You know what? So
that would be hilarious.
Because they already know the way in, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like they showed on the show how he did it, so that'd be crazy.
They followed the same plan. Oh, the key's under the same rock.
I came in to do construction. Again, he didn't remember.
He still has that VHS home security system instead of a Ring camera, like.
Those thieves don't care about those Ring cameras either. They're waving as they're,
they're
doing stuff. Come catch me if you can.
But yeah,
Man.
so looking at a police report, it says that all that really happened was the back door got smashed and the thief took doorknobs, like cabinet
Doorknobs?
doors. Yeah, like just he broke a like a bathroom mirror, took some cabinet handles and broke some glass, some lamps, and a side gate. And so
One
the
word.
total damage is estimated about $5,000. So
Fingerprints.
right,
He wants fingerprints for biosecurity. So he's going to break into the big vault with these fingerprints.
I just thought maybe he had a weird fetish and wanted to lick all the doorknobs.
Well, honestly,
No,
maybe
Tommy
it's
Lee
still the
knows
same.
about
Wait, maybe it's still the same guy, and he's pissed off because there's a whole show around what he did, and so he was like, "Screw this shit! I'm taking the motherfucker's doorknobs, so he can't go into his house." I don't know.
Could you imagine just being like all upset, like, damn, my house got broken into. All right, let me try to clean some.
Can't even get in. Can't get in.
Bang on the door. Bam!
You gotta go outside, go around the house, break in the window so you can kick the door in the other side because it's a push, not a pull. Like,
I'm just
Doorknob?
waiting. I swear, there's gonna be like in a month from now or something. There's gonna be another infamous sex tape
Oh,
that comes out of
yeah,
I
Tommy
guarantee
house
you.
from this robbery.
Here's hoping.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's hoping.
Well, and he hasn't really been that relevant. So here's how you get relevant. He got some little relevancy off the show, probably got a little taste of that limelight again, was like, how do I get it back? Oh, I know. You know?
All right, some other news. Meth must be awesome.
Meth,
Because
yes.
a Buddhist temple.
No,
got
good.
shut
Oh,
down
hey, now.
because monks all tested. Every monk in the joint got tested positive for meth.
What? How did-
Wait,
Well,
what?
that's how they have their visions, right?
Right, yeah.
Wait.
How else?
I guess they're astro traveling for real.
No. This is one of those. This is one of those Brittany Griner things when it was just like some oil and it's like meth oil.
Oh, hell no. There's 5 monks. Like they weren't sharing a pen. Like
Yeah, no. And meth is a hard drug. I mean, you pop for meth. That's what?
Well,
Like it's got to be in your
no,
system.
No.
well, now
It's
it can
special
also
herbs and
melt.
spices.
Could you
Yeah, they were
imagine
mixing
being like
some-
a Buddhist
yeah,
monk
no.
trying to be like, yo, I'm trying to have some enlightenment. Let me try these things called shrooms and accidentally get meth.
Oh my god. But like, and you're saying this was for 5 months?
Huh?
No, 5
not
monks.
5 months. 5 months.
Okay. I was like, wait, hold on. They were doing
5
this for
months.
5 months and then got caught. Like what?
Oh,
I know. Like, what was it? Did they come into town itching or something?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. When I first read like the top of this article, I was just like, "Yo, damn!" Because in my mind, all right, because of Hollywood movies and everything else, I'm picturing like the Shaolin temples where you got like 150 dudes all in sync, you know,
Yeah, and in orange.
practicing in the yard. No, it was just it's a holy temple with 4 monks and a lead monk, so total of 5, and they all pop positive for meth.
So basically, it was a crack house, and there was a crack dealer that was delivering to all of his little. And then they were like, "Hey, look here! You're gonna say you're a Buddhist monk, okay? If anything happens, this is a
these
Buddhist."
are actually practicing fucking monks. Like there ain't no like underlying like
Okay.
drug.
Return.
their heads are-
Return. So, quick question: why were they tested in the first place? Were they all like job hunting or something? Why
Well, you
were they
got-
tested?
Job hunting.
Well, so here's the thing: is based on the article, it just says that I guess they have like monthly or like semi-annual drug tests, and they all failed.
monk tests.
I want to know, like, what the real story I want to know is what happened first to make mandatory drug tests a necessity at a.
Right?
Right.
I mean, just to put that into perspective for everybody here in like the States, you know, it'd be like going to church and finding out that your pastor's on probation. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, I pissed. God made me fail the piss test. I don't know what happened.
I popped on my piss test. God told me to. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no,
God
that's
told me to take the ties and go by.
Yeah. I got a little too loose and happy with the
Oh,
communion.
you mean
line. I'm sorry.
when that bowl got passed around, that wasn't for me? I pocketed that shit. Oh, the cracker wasn't for me either. No, the juice neither.
I was just gonna say,
That's-
like, we're not going to have communion this Easter, but let me tell you about this awesome shit called methamphetamines.
And my new Rolex. Oh, that's where the Rolex came from.
No,
I got you.
Not that one.
No,
That Rolex story is a doozy, and I'm going to be getting to that here soon. But so this Buddhist temple got, they failed a drug test, and now everybody in the village, because it's a holy place, and part of the religion is for the locals to bring gifts in exchange for, prosperity, blessing, and everything. But now the people are just like, yo, we don't have any, we're not going to be blessed because there's no monks to bring gifts to.
Yeah.
So
I figured out.
And what kind of gifts were they bringing? Were they bringing them the meth?
That's exactly what happened. Here's what happened, okay? One of El Chapo's men became Buddhist, and he went to the village and he said, I'm going to bring you some gifts. Y'all bless me. And he brought the only gift that he had at the time, which is a suitcase of meth.
Felt very blessed.
And he's like, all right, so, that's what happened.
For a short period of time, they felt blessed.
Walking up on Jesus' birth, be like, yo, I got frankincense. One dude, I got myrrh.
Yeah.
He's I got cannabis. Like, that's what I grew
He's
up
like, this guy told us to light this special incense. I wonder what it does.
Yeah, you must sniff it to get the full potential.
That's what happened.
You would be one of the only ones to, advocate for the meth head monks.
Yep.
That sounds like a cool band name, the Meth Head Monks. I like that. I'm gonna use that.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that for real.
What would their first album be called?
The Meth Head Monks. Damn drug tests.
Damn. One single. They're one-hit wonders. Damn drug test. And now you know why they don't make music no more.
All right.
Oh my God.
Moving along to something a little bit more. You can see I'm gradually progressing in sexual nature with these stories. All right.
Sexy monks.
Everybody was, itching to know, dying to learn and discover more about. So for everybody that's been losing sleep since they were born, up to this point, we can all rest easily now. Everybody take a beat, take a moment to relax, because scientists have now discovered that female snakes do in fact have clitorises. So do with that information what you will. If, like I said, if you were losing sleep over that thought, pondering, and Google wasn't giving you any answers, please know that the answer is now available. Yes, snakes.
Who even thought to look?
Are you kidding? We've been searching for years.
No shit. Yes. Okay. Like, you're laughing, but
we've been searching.
Holy grail. And then we'll always continue searching for the clit. Okay. But who thought to search for it in the snake?
All right.
Where?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I'd really like to talk about that. The person who was looking for it was a female. Her name was Patricia Brennan. And she has been, I don't want to say fascinated by the subject, but she was studying it very adamantly, trying to discover whether or not this is a thing. And she finally hit pay dirt. Yeah, snakes have clits. Patricia Brennan was actually looking for, trying to do this study. And her chiefest complaint was that a lot of time, money, and research has been going into studying male snake genitalia, and not a lot of research was going into female snake genitalia. So if you guys have ever wondered where your taxes are going,
it's going to study snake genitalia.
So did they find where the snake balls are at?
Apparently that's been well known for a good long while. So that wasn't like their focal point. And so they were trying to do more research on the female snake genitalia, because not a lot of research was done on that front. Everything was kind of more devoted towards the male side. And so this is where this story kind of gets screwy for me, because one, I can't help but Peter Griffin this, and oh my God, who the hell cares? But at the same time, they're trying to relate it to human structure,
organs,
and saying that this is completely typical of a patriarchal society. that all this research was going into male snake genitalia, and we don't. It just shows how little research goes into the female anatomy. And I hate to break it to you, Patricia Brennan, but a lot of fucking research goes into the female anatomy. Just ask any OBGYN how much research is conducted daily, yearly, and just over the course of history into ensuring that, female pregnancy is more successful than it was in the 1800s. Sorry that, we didn't have the time to compare it to snakes as well. But just in case everybody, like I said, was really worried, sick, and didn't know if female snakes enjoyed mating season as much as male snakes did, yes, they do, because they have a clitoris. So
her complaint
was that
we weren't focusing enough on female snake genitalia. And we have now discovered that they have a clitoris, and I found that out because I tickled every little scale until it started to wiggle.
Whose job was that? I mean, I think you have to have a slight fetish towards snakes or reptiles or something. There has to be some, just,
that's very, very fishy or very snaky.
And what kind of procedures did they go through to figure this?
And so here's the thing. Let me read you an excerpt from this, and just to kind of put some things in perspective. Did it make sense that the clitoris, while present in all mammals, all lizards, and some birds, would be missing in snakes? So she started dissecting female snake specimens from the zoology collection at the University of Michigan to see if she could find it, and find it she did. After peeling back the skin of a death adder, the triangular structure of the hemiclitoris, a two-part clitoris also found in lizards, was shockingly obvious. Wow. So, I mean, this wasn't a long-standing, research study. And it was pretty easy to fucking find. I mean, she peeled
shockingly obvious.
And found it on her first go. So, I mean...
and I'm confused as to how they didn't find it up to this point.
I'm sure they did find it. I'm sure they did find it and just didn't give a rat's patootie. So what she said is she peeled back the snake panties and found a shockingly obvious two-part snake clit.
Yeah.
Voila.
And then what? Okay.
And that's it. And
profit.
I don't know what this... I could understand if this helped, cancer research or...
Right.
What do you do with that information?
I don't know.
I don't want to be a racist, but if somebody could check their local Asian spice store and see if they sell snake clitoris oil or ointment, because they sell all kinds of stuff in there.
Well, that's true. Well, you'd have to go to New York, go to Chinatown, and go to those little, you know what I'm talking about, the fucking little alleys that have all the fucking shops on them and shit's illegal. Yeah.
I'm sure they got them. I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't feel like somewhere there's somebody going, yeah, no shit.
I ate that for lunch today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I use it as eye cream.
She probably could have asked Bear Grylls. He'd have told her. Yeah. So when the black adder comes up on you, you just grab this scale right here and then twist, and then
it falls out. Hey. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
you just add a little pea, and you can eat that and survive. Yeah.
No.
You did not hear that on SafeWord. We do not condone you doing anything the Knight's telling you to do.
Bear Grylls. That's direct from his survival.
No. I played that Netflix special thing on Bear Grylls where you go on the adventure with Bear Grylls and you pick, what he does. Mm-hmm. Bear Grylls doesn't always make good decisions, It's just I found a bird's egg. What do I do with it? Eat it for sustenance. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, I'm going to have to call this one a wash. That bird egg made me sick. So you fucked up this adventure. I'm waiting for Helivac.
Yeah.
Start over from point 2.
Oh, man. Yeah, but the safe bet is always drink your pee. That's always the safe bet.
Your pee, not snake pee or somebody else's.
Right. You're wrong.
I mean,
all right,
there's steps to that. There's steps to that. Don't just go drinking your pee.
Speaking of drinking things that taste like piss.
All right, speaking of things that taste like piss, got another news story for you guys.
Oh gosh.
There's a woman in Arizona that had an unfortunate mishap when she decided to try and steal a 40 ounce from a convenience store by placing it in her vagina.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a 40 ounce. Yeah, let's.
A 40?
Okay. Yeah, let's all take a minute.
That's not small. That's.
For people that don't know, maybe in Europe.
What?
Maybe people that don't know in Europe what a 40 ounce is. Callista, do you have a bottle handy nearby? I'm sure you do that you can demonstrate. Right.
Why do you have to ask me? It's because I'm usually over drinking wine.
This, and the top's pretty much the same. It might have a little bit more of a taper to it, so insertion might be a little bit easier, and it's smooth and it's glass. There ain't no handle. But you know,
hang on. No, okay, I gotta stop you right there. Return. Like, where do I even start? 40 ounces are wide. Like, you know, for a couple of our webcam models who like to subscribe and tune in, you know, they are bad dragon wide.
Yeah. Yep.
As much as, you know, Mandingo and, you know, Lex Steel and all them have a nice large member, you know, to tout about, it ain't as wide as a goddamn 40 ounce, let me tell you. And
I got
porn stars that can corroborate that will say it's not as wide around as a 40 ounce. So
that is what a 40 ounce looks like. This is a lava lamp, but that is what. So then, so you see how the tip is tapered. Yes. But it's wide.
Yeah, and about midway down, it just, you know, straightens out, you know, so that it can house all 40 ounces. But for those who are unfamiliar, a 40 is slang for a 40 ounce bottle of malt liquor. All right, or beer, if that's how you feel about it. The problem is that she took it out of the freezer or out of the refrigerator, so it was cold. You know, the mountains.
No.
And,
no, could you catch a cold? You don't do that. No.
What? Cold. She actually lost consciousness because her body's core temperature went down to 85 degrees.
Wait, you take a big, cold, misty container and
rub it up in there and just what?
Into the convenience store, which is already nicely air conditioned as is, especially in Arizona. That's a good one. And she inserts it inside to try and hide it.
Yeah, she was stealing it. She placed it inside her vagina. You know, like top to bottom. She was.
You know, that couldn't have been an easy task at all. That had to be obvious, like with her leaning up against the wall or something, trying to shove it in.
Well,
you know, just
that, and then like,
all the questions that kind of spring to mind. It's like, how long did she have to do this? You know, and
first of all,
one can only hope that this took her a minute because I mean, like,
you guys
grab a 40 and whoop, let's go.
You're assuming. You're assuming that it was an issue. This is a woman that's obviously used her prison wallet quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe it was a lot easier than you think.
Well, I mean, I've seen far-fetched things. I've seen somebody drop a vodka bottle out of their cooch. So I mean, you know,
it happens. I mean, we've all seen the guy. We've seen the guy in the jar. We've seen that video. So
it happens. People be putting stuff up inside them. Don't do it. Don't let her
see. Is like that wide around. You know, like 40 is like this.
Yeah.
She probably had a few.
The vodka bottle's really long, so I was still like, you're like 5'2"? Where did you put that? Where did the rest of but there's a back inside. You know what I'm saying? The cervix and stop stuff. So,
but that's, I think we're missing the point. We're talking about size. She stuck ice cubes in the oven. You're not supposed to.
No,
that's the most important part here.
And it's glass. What if it broke? What if it had broken inside of it? That would have been dangerous all on its own.
That would be a terrible race to 40.
Yeah, that's like what happened on Rotten.com with the dude in the jar. The jelly jar broke in the jar with the fucking potato behind it.
I can still hear the glass scraping against each other.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because he shoved
God.
a jelly jar in there and then a potato. And he had to have it surgically removed because the jelly jar broke and the potato was stopping everything from coming out. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still having nightmares. Still.
Yeah.
That's some Spanish Inquisition type shit. Like,
oh.
Like a general surgeon or a proctologist or something. I bet you they have some stories.
Oh, we should get one. We should get one on the show and have them bring X-rays.
Yo, no,
right?
Well, real quick, let me see if I can pull a guest. But I have a cousin who worked in a prison. She was a medical assistant. She was kind of the nurse for the prison. And she said one day, one of the stories that she always tells is one of the inmates tried to, I guess, sodomize themselves with a Coca-Cola bottle that they had already drank. And so they inserted the open end first, and it vacuumed his lower intestine into the bottle.
Right into the jar. Right into the jar. Yep.
And so they literally had to try and put an air hole into the part that was
to release it.
To put air into it so that way they could remove it.
Yeah, because there is no air in there. So
because how do you put something in there? Yeah.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no, I'm hurting. My stomach hurts.
I'll have to see if I can pull that guest.
Why am I feeling this in my intestine right now?
Right,
I've never done that. Why am I feeling this?
I guess it's
that is my hard limit.
The same reason, like when you see somebody go underwater in a movie, you hold your breath, like.
Yeah, it's like I'm not there. So, lesson, kids. Okay, lesson. Don't stick cold things in warm areas. That's it. That's it. You talk about brain freeze. What do you call that?
Yeah.
For guys, it's still called brain freeze.
Broken. You call that broken.
Tiny brain freeze. Lower brain freeze.
Broken. Never to be used again. Broken.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I was ever at a club and like chatting some girl's ear off or something, and then she just decided to vodka bottle, I'd be like, thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. I appreciate our discussion. Go ahead and keep the drinks.
You would walk away.
I ain't doing nothing for you. Like
you would walk away.
Yeah, like
what if she was just like, "Yo, baby, I got you."
Come on now. And you would walk away.
You know, but that place is usually.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like Superman my way into that shit? Like
it's usually a warm place. And I don't know about you guys, but I tend to like my liquor a little bit on the cold side over ice.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No.
Oh, she had it up there too.
She got the glasses.
She had the shaker. A little bit of a
shaker. The fucking shaped ice cube. She's like, "What you want? You want a whirl? Do you want a skull?"
Oh, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to go in the back and get that.
Oh my God.
No.
Yes.
Mic drop.
Yes. Oh, could you imagine if actually she had shot glasses in the back door? Like.
Oh my God. Okay. All right, so was that all your stories for today?
No, I got two more. So
you got two more? All right, cool. I ain't ready to stop.
Things up vaginas and everything else. There was a lady in Vegas who got arrested by police after having sex with a client and stealing his Rolex watch. How she decided to smuggle this out of his room was in her vagina. And so again, guys,
it's not like a purse. You don't need to stick everything up there.
Listen,
in prison, it's called your purse. I mean,
well,
I
know that. But you get a purse to be your purse,
right?
You guys are doing it all wrong. If men had a vagina, we would be sticking all kinds of things up there. Are you kidding?
Y'all would have come out of the bedroom or
out of mad uncomfortable,
locked up all day long.
No, I just got.
That's like a perfect
about it. One, I call bullshit on ever having to carry your fucking chapstick or your wallet ever again.
So women don't date Kane because he's gonna make you, contraband that shit.
I don't know why I always got to carry your chapstick.
You know, my skirt don't have pockets.
Well, I know something that does.
I don't want my jeans to have lines. Well, and
you know, I see tons of Instagram complaints about girls showing jeans, like, oh, look at men's jeans, look at these big pockets, look at my jeans, look at these little pockets. I'm like, you got it built in. Stop.
You know, those little pockets are a real issue, okay?
You got it, and you got a real solution.
Well, hey, look here. I ain't stuffing nothing up with a hoo-ha, all right? But this is a pocket all day long. Just what you need? Any money, chapstick? You want the wait? Hold up. I got that for you too. You know that's
Out in Arizona, someone hands you some nasty wet booby
wedding tip boo, fucking money.
I used to work retail. It was one of the first places where I actually met Aurora. I worked in a smoke shop, and we used to get that all the time. And like, this ain't no Dillard's. This wasn't a Macy's. It's a smoke shop, right? Like, you get all kinds of people in there. And we had to put up a sign that says, yo, we will not take boob money, especially during the summertime.
Or sock money.
Yeah.
Or sock money. Oh, God, yeah.
I had another coworker who this one chick walked in, and he was single. So he was like, oh, well, let me talk to her. Let me help her. Let me be customer service, yada, yada, yada. So, she comes out, she gives him boob money and everything. And he, like, puts it away, finishes her transaction and everything. And then when she leaves, dude.
Oh my God!
And I'm just sitting there like, man, I hope that was the same bill.
Right, he's rubbing dirty money on your face. Like I get it. I get the fetish behind it, but like, it's money, people. You don't know where the fuck that was earlier. Like
before it was in her boob, it was in a homeless guy's ass crack.
Yeah, exactly.
And before that, someone was, snorting some blow out of it too.
Right, exactly.
Some fentanyl, yeah.
So I used to work at a bank, and money is just so nasty and dirty. I use so much hand sanitizer. My hands and my skin is raw. Just always washing my hands, and it's just nasty.
There's all kinds of DNA in those fibers.
But so this chick, she was a lady of the night. She happened to pick a client based upon having a nice, flashy, expensive watch. Watch was valued at over $12,500. So damn. I mean, she hit on him. He took her up to the room, paid her, and when he went, here's another lesson, guys: don't leave your mistress in the room alone with your shit. Because she took it off the nightstand, stuffed it, took off. Dude hopped out the shower and was like, yo, where's my watch? Went downstairs and was able to alert the lobby staff, and they caught her before she got out the front door. So
damn, it would be a big ass building.
It's Vegas. It's a casino. You know how long it takes to get out of them damn casinos? You're gonna last.
Right.
She stopped to play slots. That was her problem.
Yeah.
She was already playing slots. She had about 10 grand just coming out the bucket. Like,
she was like, let me just get this jackpot real quick.
12K.
Well, and if she had it stuffed in her coin purse, like, what does security do? Go, hey, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to spread your legs and cough.
They're like, you hear that?
I don't have the watch, but you can see I don't have. Look through my bag. I ain't got the watch. What you want me to do?
What's that ticking sound? Why you sound like that crocodile from Hook?
Oh my gosh. No.
Two things in the same area that can take a licking and keep on ticking. All right, moving on.
Hey!
Wait, real quick. Would you want your watch bad?
12K?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah? I got one more sniff.
Oh.
What?
Could you imagine? Like, so it's a Rolex. So there's like Rolex not chains, but Rolex establishments that do like fine detailing and
service centers,
on Rolexes. Could you imagine being because the dude working at the Rolex shop isn't me, isn't your average Joe. It's gonna be a very refined, respectable individual, and a 3-piece suit, that, you know, doesn't really.
Oh, you're right. That isn't
society
you.
too much. And imagine this dude walking in and saying like, "Pardon me, good sir, but I would like to have this fine piece of jewelry cleaned. What seems to be the problem, sir? Well,
Yes.
unfortunately, yesterday I had to retrieve it from a
seems to
local
have-
spot. So could you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It seems the gears have an influx of juice. Yes. It seems-
What is this dried white stuff between the gears?
I'm catching Summer's Eve and a man named Jacob.
now,
Shit.
NBA
No,
players,
wait,
NFL players.
Hold on, wait. The chick that stuffs a Rolex per cooch, you ain't dealing with nobody that deals with Summer Eve. You dealing with Yeast Infection City, okay? So there was probably chunks in the gear.
No.
Oh no! I just have to put a visual on that. No. Gosh, you're wrong. You know it for that.
Stand by for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get that. Stop it.
Right,
Man, y'all are wrong.
Rounding out today's hot topics and just something that's recently come up in the news, a little bit more recent of an event, and really want to get your guys' take on this because we are all within the age bracket that this is something that should be well known to all of us, each of us. Knight, you especially, you know, being in your profession and the you know, just the, I don't want to say circles that you run in, but just based on
Circles you
your
run in.
profession, good sir. Romeo and Juliet, the 1968 film. All right, so the actors in that film
I
are
heard about
suing Paramount. They just recently filed a lawsuit against Paramount in some place in California
Bring up
for
the civil
over
lawsuit.
$500 million on the basis that there was not supposed to be a nude scene in Romeo and Juliet. They were actually supposed to be wearing flesh-colored stockings. So, according to the reports, the director actually passed away in 2019. So, the director of the film has been dead for going on 4 years now. And like I said, he had pitched the idea of a love scene between the actors that were portraying Romeo and Juliet.
Right, yeah.
They were 15 and 16 at the time. Juliet was 15, Romeo was 16, and there was, you know, a nipple flash. There was a pair of breasts that were seen on film, and everybody knows the iconic Romeo and Juliet. I mean, everybody's had to read it to graduate high school, at least here in the U.S. So I imagine that you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who has not at least heard of Romeo and Juliet, let alone seen the old original 1968 film, because like I said, in high school you had to read the play, and if you were lucky you got to watch the film, and you had to sign a permission slip, all that stuff, because there was a rated R style scene, even though during the time it wasn't really rated R. They didn't have the MS or ERB ratings. But yeah, so Juliet's a little upset that for the past, and this is where it kind of gets a little tricky, 55 years. So this film has been being shown for 55 years. And so really what I guess I want to get your guys' opinion on is statute of limitations. I mean,
I don't remember seeing
Because
Leonardo
since-
DiCaprio's pee-pee.
No. We're talking about like the black and white, but they since have edited it. That's the thing, because like when I read this, I was like, well, I remember watching it in school. There was no boobs. Like he had to have a permission slip because there was curse words and there was fighting, but they had since edited it, and it was always like a myth within my drama classes that there was boobs in it and that she was nude, but I had never.
You never saw it.
And I was required to watch the black and white one in
well,
school.
you can look it up. It's available on Google. I mean, the cut actually did occur, and I think you know, over time, I think about maybe late 80s, mid 90s, they produced a PG version based on, you know, the standards of that time, where they did cut out the nudity in order for it to be shown in schools a little bit easier without requiring a permission slip. The problem is that since 1968, a film copy has been out with, you know, this woman's tits out, basically. And it just really, it calls a lot of morality into play, because one, who do you really blame here? Was it the director's fault for changing the script last minute? They were 15 and 16 years old. Was it the parents' fault for not saying, hey, you're not showing my daughter's cans on screen, you're not filming that? Was it...
I feel like it's the parents' responsibility, because I mean, I was acting as a kid. I know that Knight acted, you know, and still acting as a kid. So, I mean, it's your parents' responsibility. As a kid, you're still a kid. But it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that their child is not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a crap. How long ago was that? Why are you taking out a civil suit now?
The thing is, though, sets were different in the 60s and the 70s, in the 50s, right? So I mean, intimacy coordinators are a new thing.
Right.
So you didn't have that back then. Nudity was almost expected in, in certain genres of film. Like when it came to, especially in the 60s and 70s, when it came to horror films, if there wasn't a nude, or topless girl, you didn't make a movie. So the fact that they were underage was probably an oversight by the production company. They probably hired the kids and didn't tell directors that, okay, she's,
Okay, no.
Because everyone was,
So reading the article, the lawsuit alleges that Zeffirelli, the director of the film, assured both actors that there would be no nudity in the film and that they would wear flesh-colored undergarments in the bedroom scene. But in the final days of filming, the director allegedly implored them to perform in the nude with body makeup or the picture would fail. And now this is also coming. This is a detractor not in their favor, because there's been other articles where Olivia Hussey, terrible name to be stuck in this lawsuit with this kind of issue, but Olivia Hussey, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, if it's Hussey.
Hussey.
If that was any better, that's way close to something else.
There's really no way around that. So there are actual interviews with Olivia Hussey where she says, "Oh yes, I agreed that the picture would fail, and I took him at his word and everything." And these are recent interviews. Well, she was in her 50s. They're in their 70s now, and so it's really going to be what it really comes down to, and what court of public opinion is. Man, retirement did not fucking work out for you if you're now coming out, 55 years later looking for $500 million.
You can point out, hey, this was wrong back then. We all know now that it was wrong. Maybe a lot of people were okay with it back then, but we've moved on in society, and that kind of thing shouldn't and doesn't happen now. That's kind of it.
Yeah. My only question would be is, obviously I'm not a lawyer. I don't think anyone here is. No. But what were the laws back then? It was a whole different, a whole different upbringing, really. I mean, were they actually like underage back then? Were they able to give consent? Because it's
especially when it comes to art and entertainment, like when it comes to that's why you
obviously. No, go ahead.
Well, all I was gonna say is, like, even in the 90s when I was acting as a kid, I remember I got a part, and in this part I ended up turning it down. It was for Nick and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up turning it down because I show up to set and we get to day 3 of the script, and I'm supposed to have some makeout scene with my co-star on his bed. And I am 15 years old. And I'm just like, I don't even know this guy. You're like, no. And my mom wasn't on set, the whole 9. So I literally had to just walk away from the show. But it was expected. Like, they looked at me like I was crazy for saying no. Like, you're just going to give up the whole job? Well, this is what's expected. Any job that you go into that has, boy-girl relationship, you're going to have to kiss someone. And that's what I was told by my agent. You know what I'm saying? At 15.
Well, and I hate to, discredit like your experience or anything. So please don't take this the wrong way. But this is the other side of the issue when it comes to these two actors in particular, is that everybody is looking at it with a 2020 lens.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You can't
not the way it was back then.
Moral standards, laws, opinions on something that happened so long ago and expect it to really hold water, because, and unfortunately too much, when you look back on the past with what we know today, I mean, everything looks bad when you look in the past. I mean, if you really want to get into it, people didn't shower but once a week back then. Hygienically, what we know today, that was terrible. But
there's chicks that do that right now.
There's guys that do that too.
There's a girl that said she showered 37 times last year. Come on now.
Times were different back then. Was it wrong back then? Yes. Is it wrong now? Absolutely yes. But at the same time, I mean, 15-year-olds were, some grew up and, was out working and were adults back then.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was a whole different upbringing that they had. And yeah, it was wrong back then. Someone should have protected them, but that's just the way times were, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, as not a devil's advocate, but CP, the laws are not new.
No.
So if you're a minor and you're showing minor hits, that's still CP. So yeah, it was an issue in Hollywood, and it was one of those quiet things.
Underground things, yep.
But it was still illegal.
Yep.
Back then.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think this would be a lot different. And it sucks to say, I feel like this would be a lot different if Romeo and Juliet wasn't a renowned film, if it wasn't part of, every academic curriculum in every school across the globe, writing style, prose, poetry, like there's so many different classes
references to it. Yeah.
Showcase Romeo and Juliet as, this paramount of writing perfection. It's like, if this was a lesser known film, or if this film didn't, take off the way that Romeo and Juliet did, especially for the time, and for it to withstand the ages, I mean, it's still shown today, edited or otherwise. It's still, it's still prevalent in this day and age. And I think that's where they're really going to catch hell is, hey, I mean, you haven't had a problem for 55 years. And just 5 years ago, you came out in interviews supporting the fact that you were nude at such a young age. And now all of a sudden you have a problem because, again, by today's standards, you have a leg to stand on. And if you put it to the right channels, you'll get the support that you need.
Right.
Does it make it right? Does it make it, that's all.
You could, like I said, you could bring attention to it and say, look, you could bring conversations up. But, Stephen King, the movie Kids that came out was I don't know how long ago. You know what I'm saying?
Kids. That was 92.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. You know what I mean?
I have no legs. I mean, there's all sorts of bad shit in that one.
So let me ask you guys this. Do you think they should be compensated at all? And
no.
If so, do you think it's worth $500 million?
No. You did it. If you really had a problem with it, you should have came out with something back then, or even just a little bit, I get the 10-year mark, okay? 10 years, things change. So I could see maybe going, okay, but you are in your 70s, 80s. What?
Even if, the studio can issue an apology, make sure all copies are edited, and that's, hey, times are sorry, you're right, that was bad.
I'm not to the tune of no fucking millions. I'm sorry.
$500 million, $500 million.
Jesus. Yeah, no, no.
Go bother Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, no.
So that's all I had for Hot Topics today. We went a little over time, but we brought you guys some good news. Hopefully you guys were entertained by our opinions on recent topics since we've been away. If not, deal with it. This is what it is. You guys love us, and we came with what we got, and you guys will love it. So we appreciate all of your guys' love and support. Thank you guys so much for viewing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to.
And before you take us out, just so y'all know, be staying tuned to the social media. I told you we're coming back in January, so be staying tuned to figure out when we actually come back for y'all, like full time. This is a soft open. All right, we'll be staying tuned for our next live.
She's been this entire show. Hang on before you go out.
Yeah, before you go out.
Get this shit,
Yeah.
All right. That's all from us. Thank you so much, Callista. Thank you, Knight. Thank you, Aurora. for joining us, and we'll see you guys soon. All right. It's all yeah. You know, we'll cut that in editing because we're recording. All right, laters.